Remember the Skyline GTR that Paul Walker drove in Too Fast Too Furious? Or this one, the 2001 Silvia S15 that was the final racer in Tokyo Drift? Can you guess what's common between these two cars? Well, both the cars belong to Nissan, a brand that might not see the start of 2026. A darling of street once, Nissan, the automaker, was everywhere, from toy cars to movies to games, racing clubs, but now is struggling to meet ends. Nearly 10,000 job cuts, a struggling management, breakup with its major partner, Nissan may have only 12 to 14 months to survive. That's what a top company executive recently revealed. What's troubling the classic car maker and the auto industry in general, we discover in this 3-part series. Stay tuned till the end of this video to know why Nissan might not make it after all. Nissan began operations in Japan back in 1911 when Yoshisuke Aikawa established the company, marking the beginning of the first domestic automaker in Japan. Until then, only foreign car makers from Ford as well as General Motors were seen on the Japan roads. The company saw a tumultuous journey to success as it became the 6th largest automaker in the world in 2017 after Toyota, Volkswagen, Hyundai Motors, General Motors as well as Ford. However, just 7 years later, the company set to fire 9,000 employees, has shut down production plants. The CEO Makoto Uchida is set to take a pay cut. All this to save costs. Now, how did Nissan near a crash? There are 3 key reasons to watch out for. The first is struggling management. Nissan has been struggling for the last 7 years ever since the departure of Carlos Ghosn. Carlos suffered a spectacular downfall in 2017 that rocked the company to its core. The former CEO was accused of financial fraud, which includes charges of siphoning off funds as well. Carlos reportedly escaped Japan in a large black wooden crate to avoid any arrest in the Japanese court. Carlos's fraud also forced a huge dent on the company's fortunes as it damaged the Renault-Nissan partnership, which brings us to the second reason of Nissan's downfall. The controversy of ownership has been one of the key things in history for Japanese automakers. In 1999, Carlos became an household name in Japan. At that time, Nissan was on the brink of bankruptcy, drowning in debt and struggling to stay afloat. Carlos, a 20-year veteran of the auto industry, joined Nissan as part of the strategic alliance with French automaker Renault. Renault bought a 36.8% stake in Nissan, and Carlos was tasked with turning around the ship. His tough cost-cutting measures and aggressive strategy earned him the nickname Le Cost Killer. Within a few years, Nissan was profitable again, and Carlos was a national hero in Japan. This brings us to the third and the final blow to Nissan that came in the form of electric vehicles. The talk of the town now, Nissan was one of the pioneers of electric vehicles. Nissan launched its first electric vehicle back in 2010. However, it turned out to be a failed bet as the Japanese car maker could not rival its competitors in China and with the likes of Tesla, which then took the world by storm. What Nissan lacked in was provided by Tesla and the Chinese companies. This included the design, technology, amongst other key factors for their success. Moreover, Nissan did not have a hybrid model as well, which was a key factor among other Japanese car makers. Usually, since EVs turn out to be expensive, people prefer to buy hybrid cars which can run on both fuel as well as battery at the same time. As Nissan lacked a hybrid, it could not cater to the growing public demand as well. Nissan reported a 94% fall in profits for the first half of FY25. These large cuts stem from the sales target being lowered by roughly 2.5 lakh vehicles, and their new estimates indicate it will manage to sell roughly about 34 lakhs vehicles worldwide, including the US as well as China, which are its largest contributors. The Nissan stock has also been taking a beating, with the company's shares down nearly 40% in just the last 1 year. The legendary car maker is definitely going through a churn, but it's not alone. The auto crisis is spreading gradually through Europe. We've also seen Volkswagen reel under pressure recently, while it's still unknown if Nissan will be able to stage a comeback like rising from the ashes, but we'll cover the auto crisis in Europe in the next part of the series, so stay tuned for that.